Can I make a quick video talking about cover 2 zone and how I do it and how you can do it. You can do it with 7 back end triple TTC bases, or in my case I like to use 4, and they're just basically the corners and the safeties are on TTC bases. Any kind, you can use any kind of TTC bases. I got some convention bases, some white ones, some traditional regular green ones. So what I do is I have the corners on the outside pushing the receivers inside, so they'll push them in and they'll stay at the flats to pick up running backs coming out of the backfield, or a slot receiver or a tight end running out. Now what I do with my safeties is similar, except they're going to be going out because they're going to be circling towards the sideline, which is what the corners are releasing the receivers to on both sides. So they're turning out. So they're going to make it like a medium-sized circle instead of a tight circle. Now what I do different is with my linebackers, because I'm so into my linebackers attacking the line of scrimmage and filling gaps at all times, based on if they're in the cover 2. In this case, they're back 20 yards because my imaginary line of scrimmage is a 20-yard line. Now, if you feel confident of your linebackers being back 20 yards, this is perfect, because they're going to come forward. So they're going to play the pass on the way to the run. So some people might be comfortable with 15. It's just going to leave the middle of the field open a little sooner than later. Some people only want to do 10, which is going to leave it open very soon. So it's all about, to me, where the figures are when the board stops, not when you're set up. And if you got pretty decent bases as far as speed, they'll close that ground a lot sooner than you want to give them credit for. So let's run one really quick. I got a back just going out to the flat. Receivers just running down the field. The slot in outside receiver here. I'm going to run it for 2 seconds. 1, 2002. As you can see, he got to the outside, but they ran right into the linebackers and inside. He covered the flat. Safety stayed on the halves of the field. Let's go it again at 20 yards. Same thing. This time they're going to run a little crisscross pattern over here. Back still going to the flat. Receiver, I'm actually going to slant him in also. 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay. You got to remember there will be an imaginary offensive line here from here to here. So that's not going to be as open as it looked. But see how quickly they came upfield. They almost came too quick. See that the flat is covered here on both sides. Safeties are deep. Now I'm going to go 25 yards back with my linebackers because they came up so fast. This is where it gets a little hairy because they got to stay straight for a longer period of time. So now we're going to have the 2 slot receivers attacking the inside. You can't have them attack too fast because, again, between here and here will be the offensive and defensive lines. So in this 10-yard radius and in this width is going to be the offensive line. So you almost got to omit anything that comes in here. So you got slant here, slant there, and they're clearing. 2 seconds. My quarterback here. 2 seconds. 1, 2. Wow, that was pretty good. See how the linebacker came up and crashed the numbers. Okay, so over here you got that picked up, and again, this is line of scrimmage is a 20, so that was pretty good defense. Or you can do your cover 2 where the linebackers are up and the corners are off. So again, that's when you're not trusting that, or you don't have confidence that the coach can make that pass, that long diagonal pass. So you gotta go soft on the edges and you come up on the numbers. So we'll go again, 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, see the linebacker how fast he came in? Okay, way too fast. This side looks really good, so did this side, but he's too fast. So I would have to back him up. So this time I'm going to show you, even with a quick stoppage, let's see where everybody is. Again, the line of scrimmage is 20-yard line. 1,001. Okay, you can see that, even with a quick stop. Look where the linebacker is, okay? There will be a defensive end right here, probably coming upfield on each side. So they're not as open as they look. Okay, let's run it again. 1,001. So you can see how he just smashes anything on his number. Same thing here. Now that's a pretty decent throw there if you wanted to try to make that. But again, you're throwing to the perimeter, which is where you want. 1,001. Okay, now that third count, that's when things start breaking open. But by then, you've got to have some kind of pressure there. Any kind of zone will get beat with pass protection. Last but not least, I mean, this is a more softer cover too, where the corners are on the outsides, but they're at 7 yards. And I'm going to angle them to make sure they stay outside. They don't get pinched inside. So the linebackers are back 25 yards. Okay. Safeties are 30. Run it for 1 second. You'll see where everybody is. One. Okay, right there you can see them coming up. Okay, stand to the outside. You can make that throw, but this would be a long yardage situation. He makes that throw to the perimeter. You got 2 guys that can make the tackle. That was 1. Again, now you see the linebackers starting to close. They're in better position. Corners underneath, forcing, you know, a throw over the top of him. 1. Okay, look at that. That looks really good. So you got, you know, the numbers. Linebacker should be inside here a little more, but he's not. This would not be open because, you know, you'd have your offensive and defensive lines right here. You got your safeties deep. So that's just an example. The other example would be, you know, instead of having your safeties turning, there's sometimes when I have safeties on straight bases and they just be coming down the numbers from way back. They're going to, in a 2-second count, they're going to take up about 20 yards. So when the board stops, they would be about right there in a 2-second count. Then again, like I said, you would have to really trust that you got straight enough bases where they can go 20 yards, 20, 25 yards before they start veering off.